Bonjour et bienvenue dans la chaîne. Hi and welcome to the channel. This is Madhurika and today I'll speak to you all the culture shock experience that I got while living in the south of France. Now, culture of France and India is very different, like completely different, and this minute things which really feels like, is this even possible? So this particular country, France, is very rich in their culture, but there are certain cultures or certain habits, if I can say, of their lifestyle or the country which they rigorously follow is so different and like completely different from India and from where I have grown up or lived all my life, which is in Mumbai. So while living there in the south of France, by the way, I lived in the city called Montpellier, which is like in the sud de la France in the region Occitanie. And here are some differences that I notice. So if you're planning to live in France or you're a French language student who would be interested to know, here is the video about it. First one is smoking. Now we all know that Paris is famous or France is famous for smoking, but smoking outside of the school or smoking in front of the teachers or even teachers coming in and smoking in general in the school premises is something a big cultural shock for me as an Indian. I could see the students just getting out of school, and I'm talking about high school or school, not even like university or college. In India, I don't think, or in Mumbai, I don't think even in university we are allowed to do that. But in schools, the students just coming out and smoking, or even teachers doing that, it's kind of a biggest cultural shock that I experienced. Next one is the timings. Now, while living there, it was so confusing. In France, what I've seen is everything is so weird. Like sometimes it closed on a Tuesday, sometimes it's even closed on Wednesday. Sundays, most of the things are closed, which is like so shocking as a tourist or as someone who, because if you're working, you're busy Monday to Friday, then you only get time on a Saturday or a Sunday. But Sunday, like typically most of the things are closed. So and even on a Monday is like very much calmer, and nothing is usually happening there. So the timings is really a horror in France, and it's different everywhere in different regions and different cities. So just to sum it up, of my experience that I've seen is Sunday and Monday usually everything is closed. So if you're making some plans, just skip the Sundays and Mondays, or just do not expect that the shops or everything would be open for you. I remember on one of the Sunday, even the Office de Tourisme was closed. So just keep this in mind. Speaking of timings, there is the rules. So there are a lot of rules, like unsaid said rules, which is there particularly with every school or class or even the family or the state that you're living in. Like your landlord or your society would have these rules. So they actually write it on a piece of paper of, for example, how to operate the key to this door or how to open the door in a certain way, how to go about it. There are like a set of rules set, and they really go by that structure and the system which you need to follow. So yeah, and it's actually very common. So but it was really like a cultural shock to me, because in India, the rules are not very out there or implied, but in France, like you could just see on the piece of paper where it's written, and it needs to be written in that way. And it's something that I actually also admire a lot, because if you want things to be done in a certain way, it should be out there and not just in a blurb. So next one is the styling or the dressing. So we are all aware that how France is very well known for their style and their fashion, but the fact that it is taken so seriously, everywhere around. You could see the style in everyone, like basically even a 60-year-old is taking the effort to make the chic look on. You just cannot step out in your track pants and sweatshirts and hang out in a cafe. Even if you're just going in a cafe, you really need to dress up, and it is taken seriously. Like you could see the style going around. And even on busiest day, or even if you're most tired or whatever happens, the chic and the style is on in France, no matter what region, even in Paris and even in south of France. So it's everywhere. Next is the taboo. Now, there is a biggest culture shock or the taboo I can say in France culture is about money, relationship, and religion. It's quite real, like it's real. No one really talks about it. You wouldn't imagine, or you couldn't know that if the person is in a relationship or not, and if it's okay to even ask like that. I don't remember me asking any of my colleagues or friend that you are or you are not in a relationship. And also the religion, like they do not talk a lot about religion. It's really a taboo, they avoid that subject. And money, like it's not out there in open to discuss about how much you're earning, how much I'm earning. And which is there here in Mumbai as well. We do have a taboo about money. But in terms of like looking for jobs or something like that is very commonly discussed, like the finances are commonly discussed in Mumbai or in India. But I don't think like even my owner was like free to discuss about you are working so you can ask, but somewhere it's in the culture that you cannot ask or discuss a lot about money. And I think they hate discussing about money. In India, I think we love to discuss about money, like how much, what cost, how much was your trip for, etc. But in France, it's a no, 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 no. They do not discuss about money. The next culture shock that I have experienced is a lot of dog poop. Now, and it's out there. You have to look down and just walk. There is a lot of dog poop around, and you have to make sure that you are not stepping on it. Just look and walk so that you don't cut a cake. Next is the French people are very impatient, and they are very impatient. They get panic very easily, and they're always in a hurry. And it's the same in the south of France as well. I've seen it. Like once I was in the laundry, and all the laundry machines were full, and the lady just got in, and she could have waited just 10 minutes, but she just got so impatient that she removed all of the clothes of someone else from the washing machine, put it out there, and then put her clothes, and then rushed back. And all of this just happened in so much of panic and like impatience. And I'm not sure why, like the same thing could have happened um in a good way or in a not impatient way. But they are always so impatient. And maybe it's because they spend so much time in cafes in Tronquillo that all the other time they are just in a hurry of doing something. Yeah, I and I think now that I've complained a lot, let me tell you the good cultural shock that I have experienced as well, which is that the wine is so good but so cheap. I mean, I feel it's so cheap. It was a real shock for me when I saw that you can get a wine in 2 euros. You can't even get like a good coffee here in Mumbai with that same pricing. So yeah, wine is like super cheap and of good qualities. So And don't get mistaken that if it's cheap it's not good. It's actually good. And it's very common out there. The water can be expensive but the wine is not. Next is the bonjour and au revoir. So they take their bonjour very seriously along with their merci or merci pour ta patience, and it has a meaning. It's just not like hi, how are you, what's up, bye, see you. What we do here in India, France, when you actually say bonjour, the people actually look at you and say bonjour back. You have entered a shop, you say bonjour, you will get the bonjour back looking at you, like giving the importance that you have entered the shop. And when you like exit the shop, even without buying anything, you say a word or merci. You acknowledge that you are leaving it, something the even shopkeeper acknowledges. Or it's the same in restaurants or any other places. So the acknowledgement is something of a person who has entered or exit or seeing you is real, and it gives a lot of emphasis on your day-to-day life. The phrases that you say, bon fin de la journée or bonsoir, the greetings are given of great importance whenever you meet someone, or it's just not just for the sake of saying. It is given importance, and it is a big cultural thing that everyone follows, which I love it. And it feels you feel good in a day. Next one is the open mind. I think French people are really open and they have a modern approach. They do follow their traditional practices, but they are very modern. They are moving with the time. The approach is very open, and the biggest thing is you can address them as tu and not woo. So tu is like tum in Hindi, or like an informal way, and woo is like aap. So in Hindi or in any of the Indian regional languages, we address elders with aap and younger people with tum or tu. And we never do this. We never say like tum or an informal tone with any elderly person or teachers, especially teachers. Like it's kind of a disrespect. But in France, it's not like that. You can address it by tu, which is in an informal tone, and it's quite okay. So that's also one of the biggest cultural shock for me. Like I remember when I was studying French, I always used to say woo 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 to my teacher, which is app, even though my teacher said you can say, you can do tutoyer mais it was, I just feel, how can I? But when I moved to France and apparently studied there, I saw that it's quite cool and it's okay. It's not like a disrespect. And lastly, if you're waiting to listen, is the French polite or are they rude? Let me break this down to you that there's a huge difference between Paris, which is the capital of France, and south of France. And the way of approach and people is also very different. And honestly speaking, I do not find them rude. They are impatient, but they are not rude. They are polite, and the difference, you feel warm in south of France, like even the weather, like, but with people as well, the feeling is warm. But it's not the same feeling in Paris. Maybe it's because it's super touristic, or people are very busy in their own life. They don't want to mingle around, and maybe that's how it is. But I don't think they are impolite. I don't think they are rude. I have not experienced any of the circumstances where they are rude. It's just there are certain cultures that they follow. Like I do remember, like once we went into a restaurant, and it was a busy restaurant near Eiffel Tower, of course, and one of my friend was carrying eating something. So when we asked for a table, he just said, "No, we do not have it. You just go." And of course, that is super rude. That behavior of just saying no when there were a table available and he gave it to someone who was coming after us. But I still felt that it was also impolite. Maybe the rule was that you never take outside food inside, and that's why he said what he said. That's what I feel. But in other places, but that is like one or two incidences that will happen, but not all over. They are welcoming. One more incident, that on the very first trip of my Paris, where they would not like you to use their washroom without you pay something. And that's their rule. If you So once we just sat in a restaurant and my friend just went there and used the washroom, and then we looked at the menu and I saw that everything was in beef, which I personally don't eat. We didn't see that before ordering. And so the waiter came in and I said, "Do you have something, etc.?" which was not available. So we said, "Okay, we'll leave." But he said, "Oh, you need to order or you pay for the washroom that you used." And which was again quite rude because we didn't know. But I think it's not differentiate. I think it's just how it is. But then later on, he was, after we ordered something else, and then he got the bill and everything, and he was smiley and he was nice. So I just feel that there are certain rules in Paris that you need to follow, and if you don't, then they say it out, like they are very blunt in your face, which can feel that they are rude. And that's how it is. But if you spend much time, you will also encounter and meet polite people or helpful people like I have. That's why I say, when you're traveling to France, just experience something which is not just Paris, so you will see like the other side of France, which is so much more beautiful in its own way. um yeah, and that's about it. These were all the culture shock that I experienced. Maybe one day I could do a video on keep in mind when you're visiting Paris, so that you don't face all that drama that I always face. And if you have any more questions, or if you'd like to share your own culture shocks, then please leave them in the comments down below. And thank you for watching. Merci beaucoup.